Welcome to the Crowned Medium with your host, Lorenda Carr.
Good morning. Good morning, friends. Getting all set up here. Ooh, I think I'm going to go with my Amron crown today. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Jazz. Good morning. Oh, we got, okay. Yep, I think it fits the vibe. What do you think? Am I good? I think we're good. We're going to have a little noise in the background this morning for a little while. Not too long. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Lucas. Hi, April. Good morning, Ash. Hello, hello. Good morning. All right, so you guys know the drill over on the Tickety Talks. Make sure you're doing all tap, tap, tap. Coffee. We got coffee. We got water. Oh, Jazz says, I have good news. I got a new job. I got hired at Marshall's. My last day of current job is Wednesday. Yes, there you go. I'm so glad. So glad for you. Hello, Amy. Good morning. Oh, you guys see, we got some Red Bull in the house too. I love it. Love it. We're getting all our energy on this morning. Lucas is drinking the water. Oh, you're fine. Everyone say hi to Ashley. Hi. She's my badass house caretaker. That's what we're going to call her because she takes care of my house.
With love.
With love. And she's a badass. That's most important.
Well, thank you.
All right. So today, you guys, we've got Holly coming on at in about an hour. She'll be coming on. Wait till I tell you the lineup. I've got a number of people lined up all the way through beginning of January for every Thursday from here on out, except for obviously the holidays, the way the holidays fall. I'm going to be missing 3 Thursdays. Who knows? I might be deep frying the turkey live on Thanksgiving. I don't know. With a crown on, that would make sense, really, if I'm being honest. So yes, make sure, thank you, Yessie. Make sure you guys are tapping the screen, get us in the algorithm, get us in the thing. Good morning, Kelly. Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, we've got Holly coming on today. So be thinking about some good questions to ask her. She's a Reiki Master. She does tarot and oracle cards. She has a huge following. And she does she does readings for subs only on Wednesday nights. She does readings for everyone else on Sundays. Just a genuinely amazing person. And I haven't had her on the show it's been like 3 years since she's been on the show. She and I've communicated since then, but yeah, it's pretty wild. I didn't realize it'd been that long. But she's just like a good human. And she goes to the gym on Thursday morning. So she's gonna come in after her gym appointment or her gym workout. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Holly and talk with her. I know it's crazy. Time does fly. That was the same day that I did the reading for Daniel John, and I'd never heard of him. So if you saw my story from yesterday, I had reposted that from 2022. And that was the day, that morning, I'd had her on. We had done a live. There were like 2,000 people in the room. It was crazy. My mods were losing their minds. I was like, just let it happen, friends. Just let it happen. And then later that night, same thing happened. I had 2,000 people in the room. It's never happened since. And actually, after that, everything dwindled way down to where I can't get more than 50 people in a room. So I'm trying to do all the things that TikTok is telling me to do. Good morning, Regina. Coffee and water. Good for you. All right. I know it's crazy. Like, I don't understand. I'm doing everything that they tell me I should do. But okay. So in the meantime, I've got to tell you about my upcoming guests. So next week I'm going to have to pull up my list. Next week, I've got, this is official announcement. Like, I have not told anybody this lineup, by the way. Next week, we've got Peaceful Nick the Medium going to be on. on December 4th, because then we've got 2 weeks of holidays in there. December 4th, you guys ready for this? December 4th, I'm bringing on the very first psychic I ever went to. I don't know that she does podcasts or anything typically like that. I have no idea. I just reached out to her. I'm like, I got a funny story for you. And I told her a little bit. I was like, your reading impacted me more than you could ever imagine. And I'm inviting her on to talk about her story, her journey as a psychic medium, because she's still a practicing medium. That was 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And talk about how her the sacred space that we hold as psychic mediums, and why what we say matters and how we say it matters. Because had she could have gone a whole different direction with that reading, and it would never have impacted me the way it may not have impacted me the way it did in this journey. Like, she was exactly where she needed to be in my life. Way before social media. Yeah, this was back in 1994 or 95. 95, because it was just before I met my now husband, Steve. And so I can't wait to catch her up. I found her because somebody had recommended me to her. One of my dance moms, actually, because I owned a dance studio at the time. One of my dance moms lived in her neighborhood and was like, you should go see this psychic, because I had so much going on. And I was like, I just don't know what to do. I feel like I'm lost. I have no control of anything. I need to have a heads up on what's coming. And she's like, have you ever been to a psychic? I'm like, no, because I don't have enough money to do that. And then I found her, but she really wasn't that expensive. So I spent the money. And it was worth every dime. Every dime. I still remember sitting in her, she had like a guest bedroom set up where she did her readings, just a little table. And so when I got there, I'd never been to a psychic before. Everything she told me came to pass, and just in a way that maybe she didn't expect, or that we didn't expect, which also I can't wait to talk to her about that. So next we've got Peaceful Nick. December 4th, we've got Nona. Her name is Nona Hall McCool. And then on December 11th, we're going to have, so yes, beautiful. I agree. I'm calling that show a full circle moment. And then on December 11th, we're going to have Meg Wolsifer on. She just spent a month, the entire month of October. She's been on before. She's my spirit art friend. And she's going to come on and talk about her experience, how she just basically moved to Salem for the month of October, and did readings and did all the things there. So she's going to come on and talk about that. And let's see, I need to find my tab here. Hold on. Nope, wrong one. Hang on, friends. I got to get to my tab. All right. There we go. And let's see. I'll keep tapping while I'm talking to you guys. Let's get to 10,000. Hi, good morning, Jules. Thank you for encouraging the engagement. I appreciate it. So then Meg Wolsifer will come on, and then, oh shoot, I closed it. And then after that, the week after that, I've got Kara Goodwin coming on. She's a friend of mine that's a local friend, but she's also a really well-known podcaster. She has a podcast called Soul Elevation. And fun fact, she was actually my very first multidimensional healing client, like experiment. She's my very first one. Yeah, exactly, Roxanne. I know. I think the algorithm likes me better today. So keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping over here in the TikTok world. So I believe, I don't know what I was going to say, actually. Totally lost my train of thought. I know you guys can probably hear the sweeper going in the background, but should be done soon. She may not. We may just have the sweeper running in the background today. I have no idea. And that's all right, because it means my house is getting cleaned and I'm not the one doing it. Good morning, Tina. I know squirrel moment is so bad. At least my squirrel has a tiara. Do you guys ever pay attention? Like, do you see I have a squirrel back here? Now, once my Christmas tree goes up, Christmas tree goes up, then the squirrel will go in the tree. So the squirrel will not be there for a month. We'll be on, we'll be on duty in the tree, like from Christmas vacation. Anyway, so Kara Goodwin, beautiful soul. It's not actually, it's not a dream catcher. It's actually a ritual stick thing that my husband's uncle hand carved, and it's a snake. It's got charms on it, 9 charms for circle of completion. There's so much symbology in the thing, and then he left it to me. Yes, Nini. So it's called Soul Elevation. You should check it out. Her name's Kara Goodwin, and she'll be on December 18th. So Lucas, that'll be on your birthday, my friend. So that day she'll be on. And then right now I've got tentatively. Okay, see you later, Regina. Thank you. It's also good to see you on Elias's thing yesterday. You got Lucas's birthday. It's just your birthday now. Okay. I love it. So actually, yeah. So Elias has asked me to be on his channel for a chat. We're going to work that out. So I'm also thinking about doing Monday nights, because I actually have 5 more people that have agreed to come on my show, but I don't want to push it all the way to February. These are people I want to get in now. So I'm seriously thinking about doing a Monday night extension, like a couple times a week. Yes, Elias Patras. Yeah. I was thinking about doing like Monday nights. And then I could do some readings. I could do and have our guests on as well. So I think that's what I'm shooting for. And that way I can get all these amazing mediums and practitioners. Also, if I want to pretend I actually have a show, instead of just having one guest, I'm thinking about stacking my guests. So I might actually do that. Layer in some of my guests. I know Ermi wants to come on, has agreed to come on. Of course, Carrie, I got to always make room for Carrie. I got to bring her on because that's just what we do. I thought about having my students come on after, like, either at the end of the year or after the new year. Oh my gosh, Tamara, hey friend, good to see you. Long time no see. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I go live every Thursday at this time, so definitely check it out. Doing okay. How are you, when blessed? So, and who else? I've lost my train. So we got Ermi. And then, Hannah McIntyre, who just came out with a book. I want to get her on too. So I might be splitting time with a couple of the people that we're bringing on, so they don't have to stay on for 2 full hours. Also, there's that. And just stack it like, a guest, like bringing on guests for my show. Kimberly, please don't put your questions like that in here, because my scammers that are going to pretend to be me are going to come find you and pretend that it's me and try to scam you out of money. So please do not do that. Okay. Just be mindful of those things when you go into other people's rooms as well. Make sure you do your due diligence on the creator the person you're asking. Make sure you're not putting all that personal information in there. That's not good. And you got muted only to remove that comment from you. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. But just to remove that comment. Her podcast, Kara Goodwin's podcast, is on all the platforms, literally all the platforms. So you could easily go find her. She's on, and I've been on her podcast before. It's been a couple of years. I've been on her podcast twice, once talking about multidimensional healing with a colleague of mine, but I've since split away from that colleague, and we no longer work together. But I thought I needed her to do that modality. Turns out I don't. And that was kind of an uncomfortable falling out, but it is what it is. no shade or anger. It's just, it is what it is. It wasn't even a falling out. It was just a separation of ways. Good morning, Ashley. Hello, hello. So make sure you guys are tapping the screen. I've got Holly coming on in about 45 minutes. I want you to think about some questions that you would ask her. Maybe we're going to ask about her journey as a tarot reader. Maybe we're going to ask her about like why she does Reiki. I can't wait to get on here and talk to her. Plus, she's just such a good human. She's so nice. Holly's coming on at 11 Eastern time. So in 45 minutes. She's like, I normally go to the gym on Thursday. I'm like, girl, go to the gym. You don't need to be on for 2 hours. It's fine. So she's going to be on the back half. And I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. Actually, I'm going to start stacking and having multiple guests on. I know she is awesome. She was on my show 3 years ago this week, actually. That's crazy. It's crazy to me to think about it. 3 years ago this week, she was on. And it was so fun. We had such a good time. That's when I peaked as a creator with my 2,000 people in the room. Her face was hilarious when all the people started coming in and the comments were just flying by. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She, you could see in her face and her energy, but she maintained composure. I'm just like, oh, hi, 2,000 of my closest friends. Meanwhile, now I've got 22 and I'm so thankful for every single one of you watching. I really appreciate you all. So definitely, I do not take it for granted that you guys show up every Thursday. Hello, Gossip. Good morning. And thank you, Jules, for saying that. Olivia says you look like you're 30 and you're pretty. Also, Olivia, hello, my friend. How are you? And I look 30 because I've got filters. My students, my teenage students will tell you all the time that I do not look anything like I do on TikTok. I think you would like my mentor, Michelle Welch. Oh, okay. Hey, Roger. Oh, God, I keep forgetting to message you. Damn it. Okay. Send me, can you share her information with me so I can follow her, like send her profile to me? And then that will prompt me to send you my information so I can get that pendulum thing from you. Look at me coming ahead. Yep. I don't know, TJ. Have you applied for it? Oh my gosh. And also, would you like fries with that? Oh, thank you, Joyce. Thank you. I love that crown. It's so fun. So please, people, do not come in and drop your questions. If you're dropping your questions, that tells me you were not respectful enough to read the room and read my intro. Yeah. Well, I know. I am sarcastic. It's either that or mean. I'd rather be sarcastic than mean because sometimes I can just be mean. What do you mean, Lucas? You don't hear anything. What time will what be? I have the crown on. I have the crown on right now. You're just so used to seeing me with the crown that you don't see it anymore. It just, yeah. Tap, please. So yes, Ashley's known me since she was a young child, actually. I was her dance teacher. And she was Michelle, good morning. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen you in so long. You finally popped up on my FYP the other day. I forget what you're talking about. I always try to like and engage your stuff though. So if you guys aren't following Michelle Medium, please do. She's fantastic. And she does the work. She's been to Arthur Finley, shown up. She shows up for the work. And that is so important. Oh, I didn't realize that. I must not have caught that. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. The French fries count. Oh, because it was back there. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I need to keep that on hand. I'm going to bring my French fry crown up here up close so I can grab it in a heartbeat when needed. Oh my goodness. Also, if you have not seen the French fry crown, I'm just saying it's amazing. I love it. It's so cool. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I hope you're recovering well, my friend. Michelle's another one I would love to try to get on the show. Michelle, not to put you on the spot or anything, but let me know if you want to come on the show eventually. We can schedule you. I've got quite a few people coming on Did you ever make suggestion for bracelets and other jewelry? I didn't. Ooh, are those eyeballs of interest, Michelle? You're one that I would love. My show. This is what I do. My show. Like I call this my show because I show up every Thursday at this time. And I have guests on. So today I've got Heal with Holly coming on. She's getting a workout in first. Then she'll be here at 11. And then I've got people booked all the way through the end of the year to come on every Thursday. Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to make a note. Michelle Media. Yeah, I'm in the process of, I got a few more people that I'm booking too. And I really need to work on my book. So people are just like, my friends just keep publishing all these books, one after another, after another, after another. And I'm just like, girl, I can't even get to my first one done. But I also know it's been a journey because of the content in my book. I have a lot of the framework already done, a lot of the chapters already mostly done. But it's taken a minute because it's requiring me to deep dive into other aspects of my life that I don't necessarily, that are not like the nicest part of my life, but it's made me who I am today. And I was like, well, I could just go through the process of doing like a shadow journal or a mediumship class workbook also that goes along with classes. I've got a lot of things I want to get done. I just haven't had the bandwidth to do it. You all understand that. So like if I have a couple of hours, I should be doing some things, but then what happens is I end up not doing them because I'm like, I need a rest. I need to chill out and rest. And so I feel like I'm behind on everything, but they're great ideas. So hopefully I'll get that done. Hopefully I get my book done. Yeah, Carrie's really pushing me to start teaching a certified class on multidimensional healing. Would that be something you guys would be interested in? Multidimensional healing class. It's kind of like trance healing, but in a different way. Yeah, I knew my people would be like, yes. Okay. All right, good deal. So that's definitely something that is on my docket because trance is awesome for bringing in messages from loved ones, for giving spirit a voice. But the multidimensional is actually connecting to your higher self, and it's in the trance state, but you're connecting higher self to higher self of another person with their permission, of course, and finding you can see their past life, remote viewing their past lives that's most relevant to them today in this lifetime, that would be addressing their concerns. So like if I had a fear of fire, then but I have no real logical explanation for it. Thank you for saying that. Amy says that my trance class was very good. She's over in the YouTubes. So we connect higher self to higher self, see the past life that would have impacted that or that would have created that fear, and find out where that fear energy is being stored, if it's in mind, body, or spirit complex, and then what that fear looks like, how it's embedded, where it's attached, and then removing it, replacing it with love light energy. So that's pretty much what that is. Hey, keep tapping, guys. Let's get to 25,000. So, and removing, and actually I ended up working with someone. She said she's going to do a video. We'll see. I don't know. She's a very, very, very busy person. I ended up working with someone who had been having really, really bad dreams and felt she was being psychically attacked by someone else. Based on the work that she does, I 1000% believed her. I was like, yep, I feel it. So I was like, well, I've never done it from this point of view. So let's try this modality to see if I can get in there. And I've done it for Yessie too. Um, and yes, he was having an experience. And so I was like, I've never really done this in this way. Let's see what happens. Higher self to higher self. See if I can figure out where this is going. Let's block the energy. And Yessie even said like she felt an energetic shift. And so the person that I was working with that was feeling psychically attacked, I was able to go in and see. It was wild. It was wild because I could see the person I was talking to, their higher self, right? And then I could see the person that was coming for them energetically. And it was like in the form of like these weird needles with black goo and just coming at her, coming at her, coming at her. And so my higher self put that person in a bubble, turned the needles on them and was like, listen, you know, do this to yourself. And she did say that by that night, like she slept like a baby that night. And it'd been going on for days. And so it was pretty wild. So I feel like that's something that I can teach. I feel like I can teach other people how to do this. And also past life regression, doing some sort of certification, because I kind of have my own mix with that. Like because I'm QHHT practitioner and BQH practitioner, but I actually mix a number of modalities in there. So I'll do like a little bit of MDH, QHHT, BQH, all the things I've learned. And I've kind of created my own system to maximize the time for my clients and doing a number of things. So DNA activation, junk DNA activation, cell energy clearing, mind, body, spirit, not just the physical body. So it's been a really fun journey. So I think that's something that I got to work on putting it together of how I would teach that class and what that would look like. And then there's also that egoic side of me that's like, well, who do I think I am? And are people even going to take me seriously? So then I get in my own way with my negative ego and afraid that it won't be. It's something I can do via Zoom, but also I did it remotely. Like I wasn't even speaking to the person. Oh, you mean the class? Absolutely. The class I'd be teaching on Zoom. Because most of my students as it is don't live nearby. So it would be on Zoom. The other day I was in this person's live, may upset me because they said they wouldn't answer my question if I keep asking. They were going to come for me, and it was another psychic. Oh, geez. I know one of those. Just had a 2-month falling out with this person. I know one of those. Yeah, those people, it's good. Just preemptively block people like that. You got to stay away from people like that. And I bet they had like 500 people in the room, didn't they? That's usually how it works. I find that, yeah, good. I find we just get French fries. Yes, we do. Yep, that's what we do. We just give French fries and smart ass comments. That's what I do. I can't help it. All right. So, how many of you have met Holly, who's going to be on here in a little bit? How many of you know who she is or have watched her Heal with Holly? She's got amazing curly hair. Like she has badass hair, like major badass hair. She and I feel like if she and I lived close, we'd be good neighbors. We'd be friends. We'd hang out. Oh, I can't wait for you to meet her then, April, because she's such a sweet, kind soul. And good morning, Alicia. And yeah, I think you guys will really like her. She's so nice, but she does the funniest videos. She'll do the videos where she'll lip sync. And by the way, she's impeccable at lip syncing. And she'll do these quotes that I don't know where she finds them, but she finds these quotes and then she'll say it's usually some sarcastic thing. But it might actually basically call out certain signs, and then she'll list the signs that quote could apply to. And she's really cute. I like her content. Plus she's just kind. She's just nice. All right. Aprilia says, to my understanding so far with QHHT, our past lives are to help us learn what we didn't in our previous lives to help us embody the Christ consciousness and transmit our ego and shadows. Sort of, yes. What QHHT will do, and any kind of past life regression, whether it's beyond quantum healing or QHHT or any kind of past life regression hypnosis, the idea is that if you're going through something, or if you're not really if you're trying to navigate the relationships in your life and you can't figure out why one of them's so toxic, or what if one's a soulmate? It may not be a soulmate, other than the soulmate that you have to learn how to reject in this lifetime, because you need to learn how to let go of toxic relationships, right? But QHHT, like that process of past life hypnosis, will show you the past life that is most affecting you now. And it'll show you, and if it's something that is necessary in this lifetime, you'll find out why it's necessary. If it's not, if it's just like a fear, like going back to, I had a client that was afraid of fire, like had visceral reaction when she'd see like a bonfire. And there was no history in her current lifetime. It was actually a past lifetime. She was convinced that she had, died burning at the stake as a witch or something like that, which would have tracked for her. But actually she died in a house fire as a child, and also watched her family die. And so I was like, but is that necessary in this lifetime? Does she need to continue with that fear, with that feeling? And they said, no, it was so imprinted in her soul. And so we removed that energy. And she hit me up a week later and she's like, you're not going to believe this, but I went to a bonfire. I knew I used to be afraid, but she did not have the physical reaction. Her mind was like, you used to be afraid of that, but now you're not. So it was amazing. And she was one of my very first clients doing the QHHT. It was when I was still in my, not internship. What's the word I'm looking for? Practicum, I guess, like doing my practice ones, like, cause you have to do 25 freebies before you can get certified. Okay, Lucas. Not seeing the comments and not sure how to fix that. Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure how to fix it on your end. Are you subscribed to the channel, Regina? You might have to subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed, then there might be a place where you can like touch the comments. I'm not sure, because YouTube's pretty easy on the comment stuff. So yours did. So I mean, like oh my goodness, it did. I don't understand. I really don't understand why it keeps saying that I'm promotional. That I've got promotional content, because I'm not. Thank you, Chosen Divinely Star. The taps are showing up today. I'm at 28.6 thousand. That's what I'm seeing anyway. And the shares are at 32. Also, slackers, I'm only at 32 shares. Okay. So one of my spiritual healers, Stacy, told me that I was burned by people, and that's why I have allergies. That was kind of shocking. And that can happen as well. Yes, absolutely. Especially like rosacea and eczema. That can be a sign that you were burned in a past life or had skin burns. Wow, that's interesting. What does it mean when you have 13-4 as your combo in both life path and expression? And okay. And my husband is both 7-7 combo for his life path and expression destiny number 2. That's a whole numerology deep dive that vibrates of how you come into this earth. You are looking for stability. You like the 4 walls. You want solid foundations. Whereas he brings a little bit of conflict for feedback and lessons. He's the small earthquake. If he was a 5, I'd be more concerned. The 7s are also very creative and expressive. And they tend to drive us crazy a little bit. I'm a 3, and 7s drive me crazy sometimes. So yeah, that's all that means. All right. So we've got about 20 minutes before Holly comes in. Um, it's funny because I have that part of the show planned, but I was like, oh wait, I have a whole hour that I have to talk. I'm just gonna keep talking and talking. Um, so I've gone live every day since last Thursday, I think Thursday or Friday. Yeah, since last Thursday, I've gone live every day, even if just for a little bit. And oh yes, you're right, I do need to hydrate. This isn't gonna hydrate me, but it'll wet my whistle. Um, so I've been trying to go live more to get the algorithm in there and just get in the flow more and be more present. But I'm super excited about my upcoming guests. So, hey, make sure you guys are sharing. Let me see, especially on the TikTok, can you guys share it out? And if you can do that on all the other platforms, please, please, please feel free to share out. What I have found is not everybody was willing to on the meta platforms and the other thing, people don't always share. And I find Spirit has told me it's because people don't want others to know that they're into this stuff. That what I do is like their fun little, thank you, Alicia. Is their fun little secret that they don't want to tell others that they're into the woo stuff because it might make them seem weird. So I was like, well, that's interesting. Okay. Hadn't thought of it that way. So, I mean, think about it. Like, I guess, would you go around telling people, oh my God, I went to this psychic the other day. Oh, I watched this psychic. I guess you guys might, especially those of you who show up every week. You might not think anything of it. But also, like, I live in central Indiana. That's the devil here. I did have a conversation at an event I went to Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. People know you're weird, so you share. That's how I am. And I'll jokingly say, well, is the psychic in the room? I don't know. And I'll say it jokingly. I didn't see the northern lights because I did not go outside after it got dark. And actually, no, that's not true. I drove home and I drove directly north and I did not see them, but I was driving. So I think I'm gonna have to get my phone out and put it on night mode and see if I can see it, because I did not see them. But I see everybody else's pictures. I'm like, how'd you all see it? Like, I literally drove directly north from downtown, directly north, and I never saw them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I wasn't gonna like have my phone out while I'm driving. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have not seen them out there. Also, it's early for you. Thanks for showing up, Jules. Okay. That's how you saw them too, Alicia. Okay. Yeah, and I'm an out of sight, out of mind. If I'm not seeing it, I'm not thinking about it. So it didn't even occur to me to take a picture to try to do that. All my close friends know like a handful, but the acquaintances have no idea. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's how it is. Like, this is kind of still a secret underground thing, which is weird to me because we see TikTok world comes in and all the social, like even on YouTube and all the other platforms, you see like we see them all the time. They're everywhere. I feel like the market is saturated. Everybody's a psychic medium these days. Not everybody's trained and not everybody's ethical and not everybody is like actual or doing the work, but they're everywhere. Um, and then there's that whole, how many of them are charlatans conversation that we have sometimes. Oh man. Just got a message from Glenda that our class is canceled on Saturday. That's a bummer. I love speaking of classes and mentors, I love my class with Reverend Glenda. But I'll be at a dance convention this weekend, so it probably is going to be better. But if you have April, you're so bad. But if you have an LLC, I had no luck last night either and used my phone and actual camera. Okay, that makes you feel better, Amy. Like, but there are other people that saw them, and I'm thinking, and they're posting their pictures. I'm like, well, I didn't see them. So anyway, so I was out in the wild at an event on Saturday, all gussied up, and I looked good. I should have worn a crown just because I had like a full length gown on, and I actually wore this necklace with that gown, but it was people that live in our neighborhood some people that in our neighborhood, friends of ours that invited us to a fundraising event, and they know. So it was funny because they would talk to me, like the husbands were intrigued by it. They were like, okay, I got to know about this. Like the women are my clients and the men are like, how does that work? Like, okay, so we're here. Do you like, are people talking to you or like spirits talking to you? I'm like, nope. Good luck at the dance convention. It's Winterland. The dance convention, we have a show coming up in December for our studio. And then but this weekend we're downtown Indy for a dance convention. We're not competing or anything. We're just showing up, and it's networking day for me. I think I'm talking to someone that I'm probably just talking to myself. And that happens a lot because when that information comes in, just so you know, fun fact, a lot of you have heard me say this, when you get information from spirit, a lot of times you don't hear a disembodied voice like it's somebody else. It's your own voice that you hear. So this is where training comes in. This is where discernment and someone that a mentor can help you understand what it is that you are hearing, feeling, seeing, knowing, whatever, and understanding if it's you or the spirit. It can be confusing, but again, this is where I think a lot of mediums that are natural mediums is what I call them. The ones that are more sensitive and maybe have seen spirit their entire lives or heard, or maybe they're clairaudient or they get feelings. Thank you, Yessie, for saying that. This is where having a mentor who's experienced, who's already done this work and who's already sorted all that out to be able to help you discern what you're hearing, seeing, feeling, knowing, because there's plenty of people. For instance, there's the gal that I talk about that used to be my friend that would walk up to people. She'd get these strong impressions and she would double down on it, man. She really fully believed the stuff she would get. And she would just go up to strangers and be like, yeah, I think your daughter's being kidnapped. And he's like, I don't have a daughter. So that's weird. But what is it that she was seeing or feeling and sensing? And had she had a mentor, had she had somebody to help her break that down? And this was before my John Edward experience, where I was even stepping into that space of trying to develop. If you're answering your own questions of spirit talking, yes, Roxanne. And Christy, that's where having a mentor or taking classes helps. And you need to find a mentor. I mean, I'm happy to be that, but find a mentor that is willing to meet you where you are and not tell you, well, if you don't do it this way, it's not mediumship. It's not spirit. Rah. I've taken those classes. I had somebody who's a very, very well-known medium, and their partner tell me that I wasn't doing mediumship, that I'm just a psychic. I'm like, I am confident. And it's because I don't connect the way they do. So it's not mediumship. It's just psychism. I'm like, no, I feel like when you're talking to the Schmed people, that's mediumship. I have a little bit of all the clairs, just can't wrangle it in. Yep. It is. It's like a voice inside of you. Exactly. Thank you, Yessie. I do try to be very ethical and caring and meet people where they are. And if you're going down a path of, what you can't do is show up to my class and act like you already know everything. You need to come to my class being willing to be open to learn from yourself, from other people, from spirit, not just me. But I've had people come into my class and I know a lot of times it's out of insecurity, just continue to tell everybody how great they are and how they're so gifted and how everything is da da da. And I'm like, okay, well, why are you here? If you're so great, why are you here? And we are all individual. We all receive information differently. What if you know nothing? Then we start there. We start with your spirit guides. We start with understanding how spirit feels or what clair you have the strongest. I usually recommend people to take my Spirit Guide 101 class because it's just like a workshop if to start. Sometimes I know when hold on. When you come on because your grandma's trying to talk to you. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Lights will flicker. She's trying to answer me, but sometimes I can't hear it. And you may not hear it. I don't hear things. Hearing it means like when you get a song playing in your head. That's clairaudience. Yeah, I'm going to schedule that again. I think I'm going to do it again and I'll do it again in January. Yeah, I've got to work on my schedule. Every time I sit down to do that, something comes up. And also, I need to figure a few things out because I may end up having to change my time again on Wednesdays because I'm going to have to go teach at the studio, it's looking like, unless we can find someone else to take over classes. I've got one of my teachers is due in March and I adore her. She's gonna be such an awesome mom. I'm so excited for her. I'm just not excited to go in and teach if we can't find someone to take her place for from March to June. So I might have to move my classes to 7:30 or even 7:15 because I'll have to teach till 6:45. But that might change. So that might have to shift in March. But I want to at least get January, February classes on the schedule. And yeah, Spirit Guides 101 is one of them. I'd like to do trance mediumship again. And then I'm really, really thinking of doing either just a workshop to see how it goes for the multidimensional healing class, or do I want to incorporate that into trance mediumship? Oh, I hadn't considered that. That came out of my face just now. So what we might do is do a trance workshop again and then incorporate the multidimensional healing into it. Just started with a mentor and loving it. Confidence isn't there yet. You will get there, I promise. You really do. Okay, so since I'm a medium, I could see people get messages from my loved ones and also hear songs lately, smell food. See, those are your clairs kicking in. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you know that you're already a medium. I love that. Okay, so I'm super excited. 10 more minutes and Holly's going to be joining us. I'm so excited. Kind of keeping an eye out for her in case she comes in early. Oh, yikes. Okay. All right. What else are we talking about for the next few minutes? We're going to have Holly in here. What kind of questions are we going to ask? What kind of questions do you want me to ask her? I'm more clairaudient, but lost it some, and now I'm clouded with other energy being a social worker. Ooh, that's a tough one too. Yeah, because you don't necessarily always want to know everything when you're a caseworker. You don't want to necessarily know like literally everything. You know what I'm saying? Let me turn this off. All right. How do you know a mentor works for you to work with to enhance your psychic abilities or do all this workshop? I recommend if you're not sure, like with me, I offer something like I offer a mediumship or mentorship consultation, where we deep dive into what your background is, what your goals are, what you like, if you and I would be a good fit. I may not be a good fit for you. Maybe you're a better medium than I am already, or maybe there's something that there might be someone that I could recommend to you besides me. So Yeah. Do you ever find out what the echo meant for higher self and deja vu? No, I forgot about it. That was wild how that just like fell out of my face though. Oh, wait, now they're showing me. I do both, Sarah. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I was getting a download. So the other day, it may have been yesterday or the day before, I forget. I've been going live a lot. Somebody was asking about like deja vu, and out of my face said, "What's like an echo?" And I was like, I don't even know what that means. But it was very much a channeled message. It just, and that happens to me all the time. Like my guides will just say things. It's like, we're so blended now that sometimes they're saying things. I'm like, I don't really, you could have asked before just saying it. But they're showing me like it, as an avatar, if you're there you have your class. Ooh, art time. I'm terrible at drawing, but let's do a demonstration. Okay, so don't get jealous over my amazing art skills. Okay. Hold on. You guys are going to crack up. All right. So this is what Spirit has showed me. Here's us in our present life. This is our higher self. Okay. It's our oversoul. And within our oversoul is all the lives we've lived in all the different timelines. So this might be like the 1800s. This might be 1920. This might be the 1500s. This might be 600 BC. I don't know. Right. So we have all these lives happening, and the experiences come in. What Spirit made me say was like, it's like an echo. I'm like, what does that mean exactly? So it's like whatever's happening in this lifetime, because really they're happening simultaneously. Because you might even have in your higher self, you've also got your future. Okay. You've got your future selves. And you might get these little deja vu moments, and they're like echoes of things. And either your soul you've got your also your book of your Akashic records, right? Your book over here of all the things. And if you've done something, or if you knew something was going to be planned, it's like you've received some sort of echo is what it feels like. I don't know. I don't know. That's where I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know. But that's what they were showing. It just looks like some sort of energy radiating from the other lifetimes, or the other consciousnesses, or the other lives, or the other beings. And it's like either the timeline is crossed, or like there's something about, they just said it was an echo. It kind of reverberates out. Yeah, something like that, like an energy wave. That's exactly what they were showing me. In my head, it looked like an actual, like this echo that was pouring into here. But if it's a past life, it doesn't make any sense. Like if I'm standing at a train station and all of a sudden I'm getting this weird deja vu moment. Sometimes I get them when I know I have to stop and pay attention. That going somewhere new and know you have been there before. Yes. Trying to reach my mother-in-law's father. He died. Okay, listen, Hemp Mama, please don't do that. Hey, Holly, there you are. Hello. Are you going to come in on the other channel also, on the StreamYard? Oh, here you come. Okay, I'm going to turn so I'm going to tell you right now, turn your TikTok phone all the way down, your phone all the way down. So that way we don't get echoing. Okay, I'm letting you in. Hang on. Here comes Holly over here.
Yay.
Okay, I've got you over here. And then do you have your phone set up to do TikTok also?
Yes.
Look at you. Look at us go.
I figured it out.
All right. So you can do hold on, let me invite you in. Or you can, hold on, invite. I think I can do that, right? Invitation sent.
Yep. All right.
Ooh.
Where's the picture?
I think you just have to tap it and then turn the camera on.
Okay. Yay.
Look at us.
You did it.
Yay, you're here. How are you? So good to see you.
You look
I'm-
adorable with your crown.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's kind of squeezing my head today, so I might lose the crown in a little bit.
Somebody asked if I was wearing one. I said, I don't know. This
Hey,
is
you
her
know,
thing.
it would be just fine. I think it'd be great if my guests showed up with crowns. I think that'd be the best thing ever. I
Good
mean,
to know for next time.
that's right. That's right. So how are you? I'm so good to see you.
good. I'm so happy to do this again, and the expansion that you have right now after, from the last time.
I know. And I was talking about how the last time you and I went live together was like 3 years ago. Like I want like this week,
Oh, was
because
it?
it was because I had put out a video and it was a Taylor Swift song and my video went viral. But that day, remember, we had like 2,000 people in the room that morning and we were both like, oh,
Oh,
so let's talk about tarot. Like,
hope all of you want to hear about it.
Yeah.
They're saying it's echoing. I don't know why. I have my volume turned all the way down.
I do too. Let me make sure mine's all the way down. It should be. Wait, there are 2 new messages. There we go. All right. Oh, well, I'm not sure. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I wonder if
Thank you, Sarah.
I wonder if I should turn down, as long as we have one of them turned down and one of them up. And we were just talking about the echo. Oh, we were just having a whole conversation about lifetime echoes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not getting an echo on my side. Oh, hang on. Let me.
I'm not either, but maybe it's because I don't have the volume up on TikTok.
Could be. Let me see what's happening over here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, it is echoing. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, it is echoing.
Do I have to just turn all of my speakers on?
I don't know. Well, then I'm afraid we won't be able to hear each
I
other.
know.
Let me think. You can hear me and Holly's. It's hot.
Maybe my phone. Maybe my phone is too close to it.
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I'm trying to have it so that I could look at both at the same time. Is it better?
Oh yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I wonder if we mute you on TikTok, because I'll still hear you on my sound. I wonder if that would work.
Okay.
Try it. See what, mute you and see what happens. Mute, just hit mute on your end.
All right.
And then see, because I'll still be able to hear you. They can still hear you from my speaker. Maybe.
How's
All
that?
right. How's that? Is that better, Eileen? Or anyone? Anyway, here, I guess I could listen.
All right, we're gonna get this right, so we can talk about the good things. Much better. We're gonna get this right.
Yes.
Okay, talk about the good things. Much better. We're gonna get this right. Yes. Okay, talk about the good things.
Oh no, now it's delayed though. It's weird. That's weird.
Is it just me? Because I know you
I don't
do
think
this all
so.
the
I
time.
think Carrie and I go through this every time, and I don't understand like how to fix it. Like it fixes itself sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. It's not delayed on your end. Okay, cool. Then we're just going to go with that. If it's
Perfect.
okay, we're going to go with it. I love it. All right. So, okay. So let's talk about what have you got going on? I know you so you do your Sundays things, you do your Wednesday thing, you do tarot, you do the Reiki. Talk to me. Tell people about you. Give us your elevator speech.
All right. Well, first, I was a teacher. I don't know how many people know that, but I was a teacher for 18 years. And I got out of it in 2021, after everything that teachers had been through the years before. So I've never been healthier in my life right now, because I get to work on the spiritual side of me. I get to work on my physical body. The mental stress is not there as much anymore. I'm doing what I love, and that makes such a huge difference. But I realized I miss the teaching part of it. So my business is kind of in a please excuse our dust kind of phase right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm remodeling.
Love
And
that.
so although I'm still doing tarot on TikTok Wednesday nights and Sundays, I am also trying to expand to do classes. I've been teaching tarot classes. That's the first
Mhm.
one that I've done. You know, that's what I was focusing on. But what I'm like, well, what if I do meet your guides? What if I do, you know, manifesting 101? So these are things that I am starting to put into place. I might need our friend Carrie for this because I know she's amazing at helping people with their business, spiritual business. So
Yes. Yeah. And she's got a spiritual coaching business that she does. So yeah, she's pretty fantastic.
I
I
know.
will say, but I might be a little partial to that too, because we literally are besties. She's been sick and I haven't been able to like FaceTime with her and meet with her and talk to her. I'm like,
Oh,
listen, I'm going to need you to get it better so we can talk.
yes. Yeah. I love her too. So
Yeah. That's awesome. So what are you thinking that would look like for manifesting? Would you do like just one-off workshops or would you do like a series of classes? What are you thinking? Or do you even know yet? It's okay if you don't know.
I want to just start with one class and see how that goes and see what I can expand it to. But honestly, the more I think about what my purpose is not just to read tarot or, you know, and again, the idea that tarot is to predict your future. I'm trying to get people to change their thought process
Yes.
on that
Yes.
being what tarot is, because it's not. It's using it as a tool to get you where you want to be.
Correct.
And
It's supposed to
so
empower you, not predict your whole future.
that's exactly it. So that's what my goal is also as a spiritual leader or teacher, is to
Mhm.
empower people to find their happiness, to know that they have that within them. So that's why, you know, just basic, sometimes as experts, you know, I use that term loosely because there's always somebody that knows more than we do.
Correct. Always.
We use words or phrases, or, you know, we say things that we forget that people might not understand what that means. So that's why I feel like going to the basic level of just, you know, like your spirit team and getting in contact with them and, you know, being able to manifest, what does that mean? So that's been my thought process recently.
Yeah. And I think you and I have that in common. Not to make this about me, I promise. But you
Oh,
and
no,
I have
no.
that common that I'm a dance teacher, and I feel like I've always been a teacher. And so what's funny is I went into teaching these classes, these spiritual classes, kicking and screaming. Like I was like, I am nobody. I am not famous. I like that ego, that self-doubt was kicking in. And I finally just told Spirit, I'm like, listen, you want me to do this? You're going to bully me into the do this. You better clear my schedule. You better give me what to say because I'm not planning it.
That's right.
And here we are 2 years later, they're making it happen.
That's right. They're like, okay, bet.
Game on. Okay. She said we could go. But it's interesting that you say that you miss the teaching aspect, because I can't imagine every time I talk about quitting dance, like retiring from dance, because my body is just angry. One, I can't imagine not moving, not getting that energy out. But then I can't imagine not teaching either, because there's something about connecting to other people and empowering them. And that's what I love that you said, that you want to empower people. You want to give them tools. You're not here. I ask my students all the time, like, who's in charge of your dance education? And they're like, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. I am in charge of the toolbox.
Yes.
You have to pick up the tools.
Yeah.
So what class do you think you're most excited to delve into, you think? Teaching.
Getting in touch with your spirit guides, because I feel like there's so many people like us that portray that they're the only ones that can present people with their spirit guides. And I'm like, no, you know, we all have to know that we have our team and we can contact them. So sorry if you hear Doug on the floor making noise.
But Doug, oh my goodness.
Doug, the corgi.
I love it. Also, I love that you have a dog named Doug. That's a corgi.
he became a Doug. Here, I'm going to move this camera. I hope everybody's okay. Because now that we got the sound thing.
Yeah, now we have the sound thing. It's all, there we go.
Like I'm going back and forth. So, yes.
Yeah. Yay. Look at you. Technology. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, I need all the help in that. My followers know that. Hello,
Yeah.
Dina.
So I was before you came on, I was talking about how one of my favorite things that I love your content. I love when your videos come up. Because you delve into like a little bit of the astrology.
Yes.
I gotta know, where do you find these sounds? Like, do you just go digging for them, or they just pop up for you and go, oh, this seems like a Leo thing, or this seems like a Scorpio thing? Tell me what's your process on that?
Usually I find them. So the best thing, and I love, using the algorithm, because if you go to like, you're going to post a picture and then you do the sound, they'll give you a sound that they think matches you. And so that's where most of them come from. So a lot of people complain, like, there's always Scorpio in there. I'm like, well, sorry. That's kind of what I get. So.
That's funny. Well, I'm always like, I love seeing those. I'm like, all right, this is a Leo energy. And sometimes I'm surprised when it's not a Leo energy, but usually there's at least one fire sign in there.
Yes.
When
I do research on it, so when people are disappointed, I'm like, well, that's kind of what came up. So.
Right. So what made you start doing that? Now, you do astrology as well, correct?
I took a course, but you're never done learning astrology.
No, that's never ending.
There's like layer upon layer upon layer. So I really just feel like I know the basics enough to be dangerous, I guess. So I can read somebody's chart and pick things out, but I haven't focused on that. So.
Got it. But
I do love it.
I don't read charts. I joke that I'm just like, well, I'm a Leo, so I really only know about Leos.
Yeah.
Like, we're really self-centered that way.
No, I mean, you're ruled by the sun, and so everyone revolves around the sun.
Duh, everything revolves around the sun. Exactly. Listen, I just need people to understand that. That's all. That's really the message here, is I need people to understand that. As a breathwork coach, it's good to see how authentic you both are in your content. Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot. That's one thing I really, really respect about you, Holly. And this is why I think we get along, is our sense of ethics, staying grounded, continuing to learn, and just being authentic.
Yes.
Because that's the only way to show up. That's really the only way to show up for people. Because if you can't do that for yourself, and then what makes people believe that you're going to be able to do it for them?
Right. And the phrase, when people are like, oh, you think you're better than me, kind of thing. It's like, no, I think I do better. I do better things, like that's the difference here. I'm not trying to be better than anyone. I'm just trying to be myself and trying to help anyone else find who they are. So.
Yeah, for sure. Now you also do Reiki.
I do.
Talk to me about that.
So during the 2020, that's when everything shifted for me.
Oh yeah, same.
I had that extra time to think about what I wanted to do in my life. I had the year before gone to a Reiki session, and although I'm spiritual, I was thinking, what's this going to do? She's literally not even touching me. So I didn't believe that anything would happen. So
I'm the same way. That's how I was with my first Reiki session.
Right. And so during the session, I was like, why are my hands on fire? They were literally just on fire. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they were on fire. And she said, that is a good indicator that you would be great at using Reiki in some manner. So in 2020, when I had that extra time, I started taking my classes, and I love it. It's funny because like people in my life don't believe in it either. Like, my favorite story is my son. He's very much a skeptic about everything, and which is surprising because he's Cancer. I mean, he has that, deep water sign energy. But one night he was very sick, and So I was sending him distance Reiki without his knowledge. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I wanted
I
him to
feel
get
like if you give birth to them, you get a little bit of rite of passage
it.
there.
Okay, thank you for agreeing. But in the morning, he woke up and he goes, I go, how are you feeling? He goes, I'm so much better, but my feet are so sweaty. And I was like laughing because I'm like, sending it out his body through his feet.
All right. So let's backtrack a little bit because I know you, like me, are about the foundations. So
Yeah.
for those people who may be new to this or like joining us for the first time, can you explain, like describe what happens energetically during Reiki, or can you explain what Reiki is and like why would someone want a Reiki session?
Yes. Okay. So Reiki is using universal energy. Everything and everyone is energy. And we have these energy centers in our body. There's more than 7 of them, but I focus on the main 7. So if you've heard of chakras, that's the energy centers that we're talking about. So during a session, what I focus on is, and I show that I use my pendulum to show them like their energy center before and after. And it's really interesting because it shows them that it's closed or open. And then we work on clearing them. And then also just like I use my sound bowl to like raise the vibration in them. And it's so amazing because I tell them what happens is a lot of times as humans, we suppress things and they get suppressed in those energy centers. And when those energy centers are blocked, it causes physical symptoms in the body. So right. Not only do I focus on just clearing, but if somebody comes in, the story that I think about is my uncle. He has really bad edema. And so he came to a session and I worked on, like clearing that out. And after the session, he had shoes that were like, they're very large shoes because of the edema in his feet.
Right.
And when he put his shoes back on after the session, he was like, these are already too big. He was like, what just happened? And I love those moments where people start seeing that, maybe this actually does work.
Wow. That's cool. When you get those validations, you know, it does feel good because like do you ever feel like sometimes you do things and go, well, here goes nothing.
Yes.
Like, I have those days when same with media. Like, I think it's the same with any kind of spiritual thing where you've got to have a knowing and it's not, you just got to believe it's going to work and you just step into that energy and you do it. Yeah. And the very first time I ever had Reiki was a local person. And we did like an energy exchange. I'm like, well, I'd never had Reiki. I've gone back to her twice since then. Like I was feeling like my eyes are closed and I could tell where she was.
Yes.
I could feel where her hands were and where things were leaving. And it was wild. I'm like, well, okay, we're going to add that to the list of things I believe in now.
Right. Exactly.
That I wasn't sure. And then I'm sure there are also people who claim to be Reiki masters because they took an online course once that don't do anything. Yeah. So what would you suggest? Okay. So if someone's looking for a practitioner, what would you suggest they look for within their either credentials or like, what would you look for in a Reiki?
That's part of the problem in the spiritual world too, is I have credentials hanging on my wall here, but what does that really mean as far as like legal or anything, like that? So what I would look for is somebody that aligns to your values, because sometimes we can be a little bit out there, when you use the term woo, there's people that, like my aunt said that she went to somebody who practices Reiki and the woman was like, I see the train and the smoke leaving. And my aunt is not like, she was like, what is this woman doing? She goes, do you do that? And I said, no, I don't.
No.
I think finding somebody that aligns with who you are and take advice from other people. And somebody asked me if I do it only in person. I think it's best in person. I really do. But I do also do it virtually.
Well, and somebody had asked if you do it virtually as well. And how do you do it? When you do those appointments, do you do them do you just find out what the client needs? You do it and send an email, or do you
No.
actually do like a Zoom session with them?
I do a Zoom session, have them lay down. I have it's like a body mapping on my desk in front of me that I use because I use crystals. And so I, check their chakras, see where they're at. But I also do that through feel too. So I don't want people to think that I just do that through the pendulum. And it's interesting because I send the energy through and it's almost like I go with them. It's like Mrs. Frizzle in the bus going through the body.
Yeah.
And I feel where there's blockages or where there's resistance, and we work through that. But Reiki is smart energy. It goes where it needs to. So you really can't mess it up. You really can't. So the people that have been trained, like my friend Maria, she's been trained in Reiki, but I feel like she has this fear in doing it because she fears that she might do something wrong. And I was like, no, you can't. Reiki, as long as you have good intentions, Reiki is going to go where it needs to.
So what if you do have that practitioner that's just like a negative Nelly, that is like the conspiracy theorist, or like goes like that, just lives in a really negative vibration and lives in fear, but does Reiki?
That is
Could that make a difference in what kind of experience you have?
Absolutely. I mean, I focus on cleansing my energy before and cleansing my energy after. And I feel like people that are very negative, I don't know if they are able to sense those higher vibrational energies sometimes. So I would be concerned with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially if you just look at it from what I view as a scientific point of view. I don't know if it's actual science or not, but that frequency of vibration, if you're up here, and I get like what you're saying is find someone you align with. What if you're that person? What if you're that negative Nelly too?
Oh.
Are you going to be aligned with someone who's negative and have a negative experience? Or is that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So how does that work with the energy exchange? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm asking. My brain is just going off in a whole different direction. I wonder how that energy exchange works.
Squirrel, we know you.
I know. Like I got a squirrel back here. If the energy is off with the practitioner, does that make a difference in the quality of Reiki? I think that's ultimately where my brain was headed.
Susan, I think I follow you. So
yeah.
The opposite though is true as well. I've had people who, although they want to believe it, it was like they were holding on. The one that I think of, it was almost like there was like sticky spider webs on the chakras that didn't want to move. And I really feel like this person was afraid that I was going to change them, and they were holding on.
Oh.
It was like they didn't want to be there, and I can tell that as well. They weren't open to it, and that's going to make a difference as well. You have to be open. Thank you, Susan.
I love Susan. She's one of I love her. I just love her. Yeah. So I actually, before I was still in like mentoring like stage, but this was before pandemic situation. I was working with a former guest of mine, Krista. She was doing something called a Mosen, and I'd gone to her workshop, the series of workshops in person. It was so cool. And then we did like a meditation for chakras. And at that point, I really knew nothing about chakras other than that we have them. Okay. And I knew how they kind of related to tarot because I'd been doing a lot of tarot learning. So I understood a little bit, but I still had to look up which color, what meant what, right? So I wasn't really in tune with and educated on the chakras, but we did like this cool meditation. And I came out and I'm like, what does it mean if my chakras look like rocks? And she's like, is that what you saw? I'm like, yeah. Is that bad? They look like rocks.
So not polished.
They're not polished. And she's like, maybe the next meditation would be to actively break open the rocks to shed away all the stuff. And maybe the new rock or the new light in there might be tiny, but it's new and pure and clean. I'm like, okay, good deal. So I actually started working on that. and I actually incorporate that into a meditation that Spirit showed me at one point, that mixed 2 different meditations that I do to meet a spirit guide and to clear chakras all at the same time, whatever. And so I just followed it. That we do that, like we'll break open that rock that is encasing our true essence. And that probably going back to your client with the spider webs and stuff, we get that as mediums too. Like people that, or even psychics, like they have a fear of being seen. They want to know the answers, but they don't want to be seen. Yes. And they don't want me to see their business.
Yes.
And
I have a sister like that. She still has not allowed me to perform Reiki on her because she thinks I'm going to know all of her secrets. And I'm like, trust me, I don't want to. But I do want to, just let me at your chakras, please.
Right.
And she has a daughter who works at Mayo Clinic. And so she thinks Reiki is like, woo-woo. And I said, they have Reiki practitioners at Mayo Clinic. If that doesn't tell you something. So
there's something to it. Like, and the more I do believe that in our lifetime, we're going to see scientific proof that this stuff is legit. It's not just, but we say it is, and people feel different. I truly believe there is scientific evidence that will be traced and found. And same with mediumship. Like they've already said, okay, even with mediumship or with our soul, there's something that goes somewhere. There's something that stays when the body expires. And so I believe that we're going to start seeing more and more scientific proof. It's like, let me fix you just this part. I don't want to be all in your business. Right, Susan?
Exactly. I really don't want to know. But
Now, let me ask you, when you do Reiki, and then when you do being an intuitive person, do you also get downloads of information from them, or do you receive information about them? Of course, like what I call HIPAA laws, in a safe way that is helpful to them. And do you let them know that?
Yes. First of all, so I don't do mediumship like live or anything like that, because to me, it's something that I have to sit with somebody. And I've taken your classes on that. That I do get information.
Yes, you do.
It's just that I don't want to make promises. So when I do a Reiki session and I'm with that person's energy for so long, I do start receiving messages. So I will ask them, I'll tell them ahead of time. Sometimes I receive messages. Is it something that you'd be interested in receiving afterwards? And most of the time they want to. They are dying to have information. So, and accurate. One of them though was when I was receiving, this was before I knew my own, they're not gifts, they're abilities, but I was getting more attuned, because I think all of us have the ability. But I was having my own massage. And I was receiving information from about my massage therapist. And I was like, I don't want to freak you out, but I just want to verify if this information means anything to you. And he was so open to it.
Right.
It just made me laugh, because one of the things was, do you have like an older brother, Ben? And he was like, no. And he's like, I have a friend, Ben. I was like, no, it's showing me like older Ben. Well, come to find out, he goes, well, I'm from England. I was like, oh, Big Ben.
Big Ben. I love when that kind of stuff comes in. You're like, I don't know why I'm seeing this. And they're just trying to get us to say certain words. I love that. I love when Spirit does that. It's truly like HIPAA laws right there that just get us to say things that only make sense to us. I love that. So now let's go back to, I have this like giant fuzzy thing that's floating around. It's like giant too. I'm like, get out. People are going to start being like, oh my gosh, there's a ghost in your, no, it's not. It's fuzz, literally lint.
Yeah.
So let's go back to tarot, because that's where you and I initially connected, was our love of tarot. I love tarot cards. And I feel like that's what got me into mediumship. Like I had no idea that I was doing mediumship. Yeah. First of all, I didn't even know what mediumship was, apparently. But like, so then pandemic hits, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have time to take a class. And now everything's offered online, where there wasn't a lot of stuff that was being offered online, but the pandemic forced it,
Yes.
if for businesses to stay alive. And like even Camp Chesterfield had never offered distance learning. People had to come across the country to come take classes 2 to 3 times a year to get to take the classes to get certified. It would take years to do that. Where then pandemic hits and even Camp Chesterfield was like, oh, we need to get our act together and go virtual if we want the camp to survive. So where would you say, like, so for me, my tarot deep dive journey with like Biddy, I did the Biddy tarot program, started in the pandemic, even though I'd been learning it for probably 10 years prior, slow and surely, or slow,
Yes.
slow and steady. That's what I was looking for. Tell me about your journey with the cards and what drew you to them. And you have like, I'm pretty sure you have way more cards than I do. You've got so many decks. And you're so good. Like you're so good at them. You're intuitive, not just what does the card mean? Yeah. But tell me about your tarot journey.
Okay. So I didn't remember this, but my husband found an old book that was about tarot that I had completely forgotten about. And it had these little cards, but it wasn't like the Rider-Waite-Smith, the traditional ones. Mm-hmm. I forgot all about that. And he found it when we were like cleaning out a closet or something. I was like, oh yeah, I remember, because I pulled a card and then I would like look up what it was, for the day. But I actually picked up my first deck, my favorite deck, she's worn and she's lovely and just
I've got the same OG deck that was my OG deck. I still have it.
The best energy. My father passed away in 2015 and I wanted a way to connect with him.
Yeah.
And I was at a bookstore and I saw it, had the book with the deck, and I picked it up. And I realized though later, like, I knew I was receiving messages from my father anyway, but I just went with it because I loved it. And so again, during 2020, when I have this extra time, this is something I love, something I'm interested in. I always say my family did not know that I was reading tarot. Like nobody. I always say I came out on TikTok when it comes to tarot. They had no idea I had a TikTok account, that I was reading it, but it was a way to validate the information. Like I have to practice it with other people. It's nearly impossible to read tarot for yourself.
It is correct. Very correct. Because it could be the best reading ever or the worst reading ever with the same exact cards.
Exactly. Because I'm like, no, I don't want it to say that. So I want it to say this. So yes.
Right. Yeah. And actually coming out as a reader it's a thing. But in the Biddy Tarot master course that I took, it was, there's a whole module on coming out as a reader and like working on a dialogue. Like if this is what your family's belief system is, here's some steps you can take. Like it was a very thorough, well thought out module about coming out as a reader. And I guess it never occurred to me because my mom, like I didn't have those boundaries. My mom I think she wished she was a psychic. I think she wished she was doing all these things, which she could. Like she's the predictive dreams and things like that. She always knew when I was up to something, literally always. I never got away with anything. And she used to say, well, because I have eyes in the back of my head, I freaking believed her.
Yeah.
So there was my husband, born, raised Catholic, still doesn't know all the things to say in Catholic services. So I'm like, how Catholic are you really? I don't know. You went to Catholic school. What does that mean? Like, really? Yeah. But he's like, that's demonic. I'm like, you're an idiot. Mm. And yes, that's how I talk to people.
Well, especially that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was hiding it from him for years. I would only do it with my friends like I would never tell him that I was doing a tarot reading. And then one day he asked me because he needed something about about his job. And so I pulled cards on it and cards were right, like over and over and over again. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, could be the demons.
It does remind me, my husband is Catholic as well, his entire family. I was not somebody that was easy for them to accept, I feel, because first of all, I was already married and I had 2 children. And so that was difficult too.
Yeah.
But so his brother, especially when I quit teaching to do this, I mean, clearly I'm insane to leave teaching to do something. Clearly. So he actually confronted me one time at a family gathering and, said the same thing. You're channeling demons and we don't agree with it. And I'm like, you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah. Nobody asked your opinion, honestly, but
Right.
thank you.
Yeah. But
please submit your opinions in writing and I'll get back to you in 4 to 6 weeks, potentially.
right. Potentially, at least, maybe. But I was like, it's like learning to read. Like, is that demonic? Because that's exactly, it just gives you information.
But if we're being honest, back in the day, women learning to read was considered demonic. So let's just talk, we don't need to talk about that, but
No.
it tracks.
Yes, that's so true.
It tracks.
Then his wife's father passed away and she was going through, a very deep depression from that.
Yeah.
And I was the one that gave her information from her father to let her know that, yes, he's still there. And my husband's brother actually came up and thanked me for doing that because he said she's doing so much better now. So like,
and that ultimately, I was sitting on my apparently I'm sitting on my sleeve. I was like, this is a good look. So that, but that, I feel like that is what truly drives me to keep doing that work though. Wouldn't you agree? Like, is that validation, not just the validation of like, oh, you were right. You were so good. Da, da, da. But the end result is the healing and the empowering, which goes back to the very first thing I ask you about, like, why do you do this? To heal, to empower, give spirit a voice, give the person a voice. And how important that is, that when I see so many, especially on the TikToks and even the YouTubes, like so many people that just peddle the tarot in a fearful way.
Yes.
And I watch some lady, she's on every day, and every once in a while she'll pop on my FYP. She has this old Egyptian deck. She's got little butterfly things that happen on her screen when she does stuff. She doesn't even look at the card. She's like, and you could tell her cards like 100. They're her happy place cards as well. But she'll hold them up, not even look at it and go, oh, and yeah, you've got health issues and you need to call me. You need to call me. I have more information for you. Oh, and everyone gets a reading. Everyone gets a reading. Just drop your birthday. Leave and then she'd be like, okay, 2/12/22, whatever, da, 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 da. And this is your boyfriend's leaving you and you need to call me for a reading. And how many people, and you know what? People are just dropping gifts. The woman's making bank just by saying nonsense and saying like hurtful things that are not even looking at the card. It could be the 9 of Cups. And she'd be like, your boyfriend's cheating on you. Oh my God, you got to call me. Yeah. I got appointments today. Make an appointment today. And people like that exist.
Yeah. And they're the ones that have, like you said, hundreds of people in there dropping the gifts. And
yes, you see them like just like gift after gift after gift after gift. Now, like my regular people, they're pretty good about dropping gifts, but I don't expect them. I don't. Exactly. That's not what we do this for. But I'm just like, how I don't get it. And that is what we compete with. And that ultimately, that's what I was circling back around to. That as practitioners, as ethical practitioners who take the time to deep dive and to learn the cards and understand what they mean, that's who we're competing with.
Yes.
Because there are technically no barriers to entry. You can tell I'm married to a lawyer. There are no barriers to entry to this kind of work. So when people ask you, what do you look for in a tarot? Like, what do you, if you're going to get a tarot reading from someone, what do you look for?
I look for someone who, again, it's not just about what the card says, but what they feel about that card. Because I can pull a card for you, for somebody else, and it could be the same card, but
totally different,
completely different. But again, the tarot read, especially because you know the question that we get asked the most:
what's my future?
Or no, are they coming
Oh
back?
God, yes.
The readers that are always like about, twin flames and
Oh,
soulmates, those are always the ones. Because my people know that when somebody asks me that question, my question to them is, do they even deserve you? And you would not believe how many times people say no. And I'm like, then why?
then why are you even asking? Okay, do you need to know if they're coming back so you can barricade the door and get a restraining order in place?
Yeah,
Or are you hoping they're going to come back and it was you all along that was the problem? Like, why are you asking?
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
there was one woman though that she was a medium, and this is the one that she was charging exorbitant amounts of money for mediumship, and if they passed in a tragic way, it was going to be more money. Have you seen that?
I've seen people do that more than one. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
But this woman was like, okay, I have a line of spirits in here. You go back over there. Like, she's like yelling at spirit. And I was like, nobody yells at me, Ma. Nobody. I could not believe it. I was like,
wow.
But
Yeah.
people want to believe these things. So
Well, and that's the other thing too, is, there's just this vibration. And I think it's really important to, as part of educating people, it's important that you pay attention to the vibration the person has. And if you are in a low, dark place and you're looking for guidance, don't go find someone that you align with energetically.
yeah,
Hi, SP. Don't align with someone who is also dark and low and all that, because that's the message work you're going to get.
yes.
Sometimes people just want to hear what they want to hear, so they'll go to and that's true. I have seen. I don't think I have many people. I don't have anybody in the room right now, but there are people that will come in and they'll try to claim every message. Like if I'm doing cards in the live, they'll try to claim every single message, every single spirit. And then I will see them in every one of my friends' rooms as well, doing the same thing, asking the same exact question. I'm just like, girl, go buy yourself a deck, or maybe pay for a reading.
Yeah.
Pay for a private reading instead of hopping around and look. But people don't want to do that because they want, like what Tracy said, is people want to hear a certain answer. And when they get the answer they want to hear, then that's the one they're going to cling to.
Yeah.
So, and it is sad, Roxanne. But as practitioners, all we can do is go, this is what we're getting. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So they want to say, yes, exactly. Girl, it ain't real.
Yeah.
And, and they want easy, quick answers. You're right, Hazel. They want quick answers. So how do you, when you do private readings, or when you do those, when you work with people privately, how do you deal with that when they sit down, they're like, okay, is Mike's coming back? Or is it, or tell me my future, or, tell me some of the things that you respond to people that have those expectations of, am I ever going to have a baby?
I have the conversation again of what tarot really is. It's a tool to help you get where you want to be. Here's the other thing too, that people don't realize. I always say God, source, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, they want to give you what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people don't know what they want. I mean, or they think it's just one person. And this is what I say about manifestation too. If you're trying to manifest love, please don't try to manifest one person, because you are limiting yourself.
Correct.
Instead, let's focus on the qualities of a person that you want to have in your life. So that's always my question is, what do you want your life to look like? Because it's not just about that relationship. It's, are you keeping yourself in that relationship because you think, or because Esmeralda told you that was your soulmate or your twin flame? Like, that drives me crazy too.
Right. Do you ever think that people, and do you ever think that people are aligned with kind of bad practitioners to get a bad message to divert them from making certain choices though? Do you ever wonder if people are aligned that way? Because now that I'm thinking about, I've got the very first psychic I ever went to is going to be a guest on my show in December.
Oh,
I know, 30 years ago. And she had told me something that was actually incorrect at the time, but I clung to it so hard that it kept me from engaging with other people because I was like, who am I going to marry? And she's like, some guy named Steve. And I'm like, I don't even like the name Steve. Like, I don't even vibe with that.
Don't date Steve.
I'm not gonna date a Steve. Like, I like my uncle Steve. He's funny, but kind of irresponsible. Why would I date a Steve? Like, that's the only Steve I know. And so I clung to that for a good year. And then I finally was like, well, what was happening was I was not getting serious about the people that I was dating. And as a Leo, I tend to be very loyal, sometimes to a fault. So I would cling to certain people. Well, that's not Steve, but we could have fun. We can go on a date. Okay, great. Well, see, it was not going to work out because he's not Steve. But then I was out on a date with my husband. We come around the corner like he was in law school at the time. And there's a giant sign that says Steve's T-shirts. It was red. It was giant. And I had forgotten about that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, and we had just started dating like a month prior. And I was like, I got a funny thing to tell you about this Steve thing. So, and I can't wait to tell Nona about this, but sometimes I wonder if we receive information from spirit that is not accurate. So it was that was accurate, but in a weird way, but it diverted me from making those choices. Do you ever feel like have you ever come across that? Or do you ever feel like that's a situation that maybe you are that medium or you are that reader in the moment that you're delivering information that's actually false, but for their better and best and highest good? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Like, it might be the way I interpret something too. Like, that could have just been interpreted wrong, hearing the name Steve. So I love when they put it together later, though, that it wasn't that, but it was actually this. And
But it was actually this.
So,
yeah. Yeah, because I think just in my own experiences, and there are times that I don't know. My other favorite thing too, though, is when they come to you for a tarot reading, they're like, "Who's my soulmate?" And I'll be like, "All right, here, hold these. Can you start looking through and see if any of these have a name on them?"
Yeah.
It might be really small print. Let's see. I don't know. No.
Yes. No.
I'm kind of a smart ass though. I don't know if you know that about me.
I love that about you.
I know, but like, I'm like, I don't see any names in the cards, but that doesn't mean they're not there. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, sorry.
It reminded me of one of my
Mark.
tarot reading from years ago. And this woman really wanted this relationship to work out with this man. And he was in a different city. Okay. She's outside on the phone when we're having this. And she's in a different city than he lives in. And she really wants me to tell her it's going to work out. She's standing next to a trash can and she goes, "Oh, that's weird. The trash can had the name of the city that he lived in." Or I can't remember, it was the name of the city he lived in, or it was like his name or something, but it was on the trash can. And I was like, spirit can't yell any louder. He's literally on the trash can.
So there's that. Like,
I don't know how you would.
Would I rather be on a billboard in a marquee or on a trash can? I feel like that's the better sign. The marquee might be the better sign than the trash can.
Yes.
I love when spirit does stuff like that though, because you can't be like, well, that could be a coincidence.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah, is it? I don't know.
Is it though? I feel like when spirit gets that creative, and you ever wonder if your spirit guides are like, high five, that was hilarious.
All the time.
I know. I mean, I know they get a kick out of things they do to me sometimes, but yeah. In Scotland, we tell them, I know you do. I know you do, Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah. I did tell my people, I'm like, come up with good questions for Holly. So what questions do you guys have? Hi, Chrissy. How are you? And
Hello.
also, hello, welcome in, friends. Hey, let's get to 100. Let's get to 100,000 taps. Let's do that on the TikToks. Let's get to 100,000 because that hardly ever happens.
I
And
know.
you guys are rock stars. But I did figure out how to like tap for myself from a different account on my iPad.
Oh,
I figured that out yesterday. I've been on TikTok for 5 years, and it took me.
so you sit and tap while you're on, or
Yeah, I'm literally just like, there we are, because I forgot I had this whole other account. So I went to log in. I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that. Okay, we're just gonna do that.
yeah, get one
I
of those
should get a
tapper
tapper.
things.
Oh, I should.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. But I don't know. I'm also one of those people that if I go gambling, which I don't, but if I go to Vegas, I want one of those manual slot machines. So
Yeah.
that's fine. All right. So what questions would you guys ask Holly? What would you ask? She does the tarot, the Reiki, the intuitive stuff. She's going to have classes coming up soon. You should just figure out how to double tap after fight. Well, see, Susan, there are things that I feel like I don't know yet. Oh yeah. So April over on the YouTube says, I feel like we focus on these little things we want in a soulmate, but we don't embody the things we want in a soulmate. That's true. If we become who we want to be with, we will find our soulmate or mirror. I think that's true. I think also soulmates can come in the form of just people that we know, our friends, our loved ones, or people that came here with the intention of destroying our lives and give us the opportunity to do better. They are also soul mates, soul family. So I have a different version of what soulmate means than what most people.
Me too.
Spirit guides come in different forms, or do spirit guides come in different forms? Do they ever leave their side? Or like, how do you know if you got a new one? Ooh, what do you think about that? You're going to be teaching a spirit guide class. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So we have one, it's Cradle to Grave is what I call Cradle to Grave guide that's with you all the time. But you have other guides coming in during different phases of your life. And you might know that just because you start thinking differently. You might be like, wow, I wouldn't normally do that, but now I am. So you do start noticing that there's a different way of thinking. But what I love, and I'm going to tell all of you this because this would be a part of my Spirit Guide 101 class, is people want to know, how do you know when they're with you? Well, they're always with you, but they're not always, you have to give them permission to step in your life as well. That's another important thing. But what I want you to do, and not right now, because, we have other important things to do, but sit with your own energy first. Like, I don't know if you meditate or whatever. I think meditation gets a bad rap sometimes too. Mm-hmm. But sit in your own energy in a quiet room and just feel what your energy feels like for a while. And then ask your guides or guide to step in and see how that feels in your body so that you can start recognizing it. That's like the first thing that I would teach anybody when it comes to learning spirit guides. The other thing is they don't have a physical body. So people want to know what
do they look like?
My spirit guide is like, what do you want me to look like? And I'm like,
yeah,
touche, good point. Right. They also, like, the names are not as important either. You can pretty much come up with a name that you want to for them. So those are things that I think people just get stuck on too. Right. But just, again, the most important thing is, how does your energy feel and what does it feel like when you ask them to step in? For me, I get chills on the right side of my body. It's like they come in on this side. So I don't know if you've ever done that, Lorenda, and what it feels like for your guides.
Oh yeah. So when I teach Spirit Guides 101. And so I actually, the spiritualist belief is that you come in with 4 core guides. And again, it varies with everybody.
Yes.
Like but for what I'm doing, I've got my teacher guide, my joy guide, my alchemist, and my protector. Now they all have very different roles, but I feel like we came in together to do a group project to get us through the other side for a bigger purpose. Okay. And then we have other guides that come in throughout our lives. And and I teach it that way, the exact same way that you're saying, is we invite them to come in close, overshadow in the energy, and feel what they feel like. If you are a person who is feeling challenged or doesn't like to feel other people's energy, then I say, come in, connect mental mind to mental mind. Come in, let me hear you. Let me feel you in my fingertips, maybe if we have boundary issues. So like and your spirit guides, because they're infinite intelligence, like they have a whole other playing field over there. They'll meet you where they are. Wouldn't you agree? Like if they will, they'll step in a way that you invite them to come in and make themselves known. But yeah, they don't have names on the other side. And they'll tell you that. And I've got a couple of people, a couple of students who are like, so Jessie, one of my students, Jessie, she talks about this openly. So I'm not like outing her out of class, but she talks about this openly. Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, my teacher guide looks like Sam. Oh shoot, what's his name? It's a movie star.
The one with the big mustache.
Yes.
I don't know his name either, but that's what I just pictured.
Right. I know. He's like, looks like him. I'm like, well, you got to go with it. And Sam Elliott. That's right. So how my guides show up to me is how I knew them in a past life. So they're like, you know me like this. And this is how we connect. So like, okay, whatever. But they're like, but we're just color and energy on the other side. We don't have names. Yeah. We don't have we don't have bodies. Like we're just energy. We're just floating around.
Yes.
We're mental beings on the other side. So I love that. I love that it's very similar to how I teach it. So yeah, I get it. I'm excited for you to step into that. Because I feel like my guides, and I say this all the time, there are people that go their entire lives that never meet a spirit guide. They don't believe in anything that we do. They don't believe in any religion whatsoever. They just believe that we came here and when we leave, we're done. We come in, we leave, we're done. Just a freak of nature, anomaly, weird thing. And they can still live their best life. They can still be successful in life, and they can still function. They never need to know their guides. So I think it's important for people to understand that not everybody's meant to know all of their guides. Not everybody's meant to do this work. Just because we're wired to doesn't mean we should, or that's our path. I mean, I feel like there are people that come in, work with their team before they come in from the other side. And they're like, all right, listen, here's the goal. I'm going to act like you never exist. I'm going to believe in nothing. And you have to help me be successful. It's your job. I'm going to be your lesson. I'm the tool for you to learn how to be a better guide. Ready, set, go. Go team.
Yeah.
I'll see you when I'm done. So, and yes, exactly, Susan. It is sad how much magic they lose out or miss out on. But at the same time, like that wasn't their soul's purpose.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it anyway.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we brought this up the last time. Cloud Atlas. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
As a spiritual person, you have to see it. And it's so interesting because it's about multiple lifetimes and like the same soul going through multiple lifetimes. It's Tom Hanks and Halle Berry in there. But I was watching it and the weirdest thing happened to me. So one of the characters has a birthmark that is a comet. And that's how you know that character in the different lifetimes. And in one time, it's Halle Berry lifetime. And then I realized, because I have this birthmark right here on my arm, I always called it my palm tree, but I was like, it's a comet. I was Halle Berry in another lifetime.
Yes. You know what? Own that. Go with it.
But I love that because it's really deep thinking. And it's about, the things you do in one lifetime and how it changes what you might be in the next. So I know this might be a little more woo-woo than we expected.
Oh, are you kidding? No. That's exactly where we sit. Because I do past life stuff. Like this is what and actually what's funny is I'm going to show you before you came on, it cracks me up because you're like, have you heard of Cloud Atlas? Well, for whatever reason, somebody brought up something I mentioned the other day. And I actually I was like, this is what higher self looks like in all your past lives. And so I just now wrote that down. Don't count
Oh,
that.
okay. I was like, you wrote.
No, I wrote that down. But then it looks like a cloud.
Yes.
And it's like all the different lives in there and the echoes that radiate into your current being.
Yes.
And there it is, friends. That's where the echoes came in. It radiates it, the echoes from the other lives radiating into your current being. Whew. That was a cool thing. Oh, cool. We got to 100,000 likes. Yay. Awesome. All right. We have one more question over here in Instagram world. Do you incorporate Reiki into your tarot readings?
I do, because I use it to feel into people's energy. And I want you to know, like, before I go live and do readings, I ask to connect to their energy, to keep them safe though, and to disconnect when done. But it really helps me feel where a person is right now. And, you know, I have a lot of people that say, oh, I just want a general reading. And my guides are like, no, there's something very specific that they, so I'm like tuning into like, well, what does their energy feel like right now? Are they like chaotic? Are they sad? So I do in that way. And sometimes I will bring up something, I don't know, if my other Reiki practitioners in here, here's something that I have noticed frequently when I do Reiki sessions for men versus women. And I have had so many more women in a session, but women's hearts are always open and clear, usually, unless they're really dealing with some grief or something, right. And their throat is usually closed. Men is the opposite. Their heart is closed and their throat is open. Exactly. And I just find that so interesting that I've seen it over and over again. But it makes sense for, you know, women, we're so giving and loving, but we don't say what we need to sometimes. So I feel like that's something that we need to work on too.
Cool. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Amy says, do you think your life path numbers change from lifetime to lifetime? Absolutely. I believe so, because we're coming in with different missions. So like if we, and I don't know that they go in any order. I think it's just, you go, where's the vibration going to be? Oh, I'm going to be a shit show this lifetime. Cool. I'm going to go into number 5. Let's go.
Wait, I'm a 5. No, I'm kidding.
You know, or maybe I'm going to be innocent and naive and knew everything, and I'm going to go in as a 1. I don't know. I think we choose the number we want to vibrate as for every lifetime. So, all right. Well, Holly, I'm so glad this worked out for you to come on today. You're the first of this marathon of people that are going to be coming on the show over the next couple months. I'm so excited, and I'm just so I just adore you so much, and I love it. I just love that you came on.
Inviting me. I feel
of course. Any final words? Well, tell people where they can find you, so they know how to get a hold of you, and if they want to.
Okay, well, on TikTok, you got Heal with Holly, but then that's why I put Soul Healing with Holly on the other one, because all of my other accounts, that's the name it's under, and my website, soulhealingwithholly.com. So you can find any information there. I'm still working on the website. Again, I got to reach out to Carrie, have her help me.
Yeah, here, I'm going to put your website, Heal with Holly, in the comments on the youtube.com.
Yes.
Okay. Soul Healing with
Holly. Yep.
Okay. Wait. Healing with Holly. I looked it up at one point, so I should know that. There we go. I put it in the chat. Okay. So that way people can come and find you. So, but thank you so much. And just so you guys know, this will be living on my YouTube channel. So you can, if you missed part of the conversation, or if you want to go back and watch anything or be able to find Holly, you can go to my YouTube channel, Lorenda Carr Medium. And thank you all for coming in and tapping, getting us to 108,000. Yeah. Let's go. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you for your support. Thank you for just showing up and being open to conversation, asking great questions, and being part of the conversation. We really appreciate it all. And I will see you all later. So Holly, if I'm going to disconnect, but if you want to hang out we can chat on the StreamYard after I disconnect. So, all right. Thank you all.
Right.
Bye. Bye, friends. All right, we're going to do our little outro.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe now and we will see you next time on the Crown Media.